Welcome to the third day of my Watch Me Practice series where I am learning the Grieg butterfly. This is the third consecutive day that I have practiced this piece, so I've had it less than 72 hours by this point. I'm not sure when I'm going to be uploading this video, but I did want to mention that this is all happening within a relatively short time frame for me. And I also wanted to mention that there are a lot of little trips I make to the piano to test my memory of things that I don't capture on camera, particularly because they would be awkward to capture on camera because they're usually 30 to 40 seconds long and then I'm done. Right when a student's about to call in and I'm waiting for them, I might play a little bit, or right after a student I might play before I go upstairs and do something different. Or I have a piano upstairs and I might play while something is in the microwave or something like that. And it's these little frequent trips that I'm making to the piano combined with a good night's sleep a couple times in a row that I would attribute a lot of my progress towards. So the practice session that I'm laying out that you see on camera is important. It's very important because that's where I'm really laying out the scope of my work, and that's where I'm doing all the counting and all of the mental association. But then as far as the tempo and the general comfort with the piece and the security, that's all happening because of the amount of times I attempt it. And that's really important. So if you want to learn something really quickly, you got to attempt it lots of times, and staying for dedicated sessions at the piano might actually cause you to take a lot longer to get the piece in your hands than if you make a lot of little trips. And my approach is the combination of the two, and that's why I feel like it's so effective. So before I turn on the music, I want to show you a little bit of what I already have memorized from the first page at least. Well, I don't have this part memorized apparently. Let me think. There we go. I'm gonna try that again. Still want to do it again. Well, now it's coming apart. Well, maybe I'll turn on the music. It was going well earlier. We'll see what I can do after a little bit of a musical reminder. Okay, I'm gonna do it slower, but from memory. One of the things that's clouding my memory is the fact that farther in the piece there's a key change, and it does that on the dominant. And so now I have two versions of it to memorize. But anyway, you can see that it's definitely in my hands. And as I start to try to push the tempo a little bit and work out these chromatics, those are definitely smoother. You can see that the piece's performance tempo is definitely going to be more approachable to me now. So I'm going to look for unique material that I haven't yet covered. I know that I covered Actually, the part that I started working on yesterday was this new part. which is just a repeat of the opening section an octave higher, but this is where the piece goes in a slightly different direction. So giving this a good look would be a good idea. Now, I remember having a lot of issues with that yesterday, or the last day that I practiced, that part, because for whatever reason, it felt awkward. It was hard to get my hands. But when I learned more about the first version of that part, which is this part, once I started to pay attention to more of what was going on there and where the part changes, where the left hand changes, where the right hand changes, I realized that the other part that I was just looking at is virtually an exact transposition. And so the memory on the first part aided the memory on the second part, and then it made it work out perfectly. So after that part, that same B section comes back in. And then it repeated the A section. And then same thing here. Then it changes to that new part. Let me think, remember. 2 beats of rest. Last note on the piano. I always like when that happens, unless your piano isn't in tune. Luckily, this was just recently tuned. And that's pretty much it. That's the piece. So it's fully laid out, and there's not too much to do from memory for memory work. I probably need to memorize this last part. And then I think I need to get better at these little runs, because they're just a little inconsistent. Sometimes I feel like I can do that, and sometimes I feel like I can't. So I need to look at that. And then definitely this one. What is it? The second one. I can't think of where it is. Oh yeah, here. For whatever reason, the way that chromatic run is laid out on the hand, where I gotta go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, which is the fingering they have here, that is awkward for me. So I need to give special attention to that. And then the only other thing I notice, I think I have this part memorized. Sorry. And I have this too. But then once it gets into that next part, I don't have that memorized yet. So there's a small part of the piece that is not in my memory yet. It's not really in my hands yet. And I guess that's what I can aim today at. So let me see if I can kind of get started on that. Let's see, go to... I'm going to prioritize stuff that's not in my hands yet at all, which will be probably here. That's what I need. It's got F sharps on the bottom, F sharps on the top every time. So I just really need to memorize the inner voices. Probably could do that by ear. Memorize the left hand. 1 E and 2 E. back. So that's what that would look like. I can go farther back. I'd probably try to turn off the music too. Fourth. Okay. Also, I need to check one more thing. This part. I'm finding that I am definitely going through that too fast. I think it's F sharp in the bass. Okay, this is not working. Let me try a different approach. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E. I probably need to get comfortable starting with this measure. 1 E and a 2 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E. Just take some intentionality. Yeah. Probably need to memorize that too. That feels like the other part. This is new. Take this on. Okay, that's really what I need to do. So I'm going to go do something different. I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to try the end. course, I don't have to shoot from memory today. I've just noticed that some of the piece has already come into my memory. So it would have been nice if I was able to play the whole thing from memory, like super early on. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if I have the energy for that. But I definitely have the energy to get it nice from the paper. I think I could be more secure of the notes. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back up a little bit. I don't like getting into that. All right. So I am going to just do a run, and I might call it for today because I have something going on soon. But this is more to kind of give you an idea as to what the progress looks like on the third day. I've definitely thrown a total of less than 2 hours on this piece. Possibly less than 90 minutes. I'm not entirely sure. But if you count all the little trips, like the little tiny trips where I'm just doing like... I'm just doing that a lot. Then I'm sure I'm probably maybe at that 2 hour mark. So that's where it's at currently. And so I guess my next goal would be making what I just played more reliable, perhaps getting it on a metronome, and maybe playing all of that from memory. That would be helpful. This piece would definitely benefit from memory because it'll end up going so fast that looking at the page is just going to bog me down. So at least I have to have, like the first part, I definitely would need to have memorized, which I pretty much already do. And then one other thing I could do is I could focus on making these chromatic runs really nice. See, it's a little bumpy. So that's definitely something I'll be working on. Hopefully watching the progress of this thing is something that is helpful and inspiring to you. Of course, I could do it better, but at the same time, I feel like maybe there's things that I am doing that might help you all to know about. So that's kind of the purpose behind making this video series. And in the next video, I will probably work on those things that I mentioned, getting those chromatic lines smoother, perhaps taking a deeper look at some of the musical aspects of this piece, seeing if I can get more into my memory, more into my hands, and generally preparing it for, at some point, a recording, and that'll also upload to YouTube. So that'll be nice. So anyway, that's where things are, and I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you all in the next one.